Okay, so I'm gonna call you number 1. All right, Blake, what'd you get for number 1? Okay, y'all agree with him?
Yes.
How do you know it's, and you're also gonna tell me why you calling it a circle.
They have the same coefficient.
Same.
Square variables.
Okay, same coefficient, and then they have the same they're both squared, right? So this is a circle. Okay, so Matthew, what'd you get for number 2?
Ellipse.
Ellipse, can you tell me why?
Two squared variables, same sign, different coefficients.
So they have like 3 things happening on that one. Okay, number 3. All right, so Mitch, what'd you get for number 3?
Hyperbola,
How come?
because it's different signs and what is it?
It's just squared.
Yeah, both squares.
Both squared. Okay, number 4. All right. Giselle, what'd you get for number 4?
A parabola.
Parabola. And why is that a parabola?
Different coefficients.
There's only one thing that yeah. Yeah, doesn't that thing nice when we only have to know about the squares on that one? It only has one squared variable. We don't have to worry about signs and different signs on that one. But you're right, it is a parabola. Okay. All right, number 5. Cole, what'd you get for number 5?
I got a circle.
Okay.
Two
Okay.
squares with the same coefficient.
Yep. And number 6. Evie, what'd you get for number 6?
Parabola.
Okay, why'd you get a parabola?
Because there's only one square.
Only one square. And last one is Anderson.
I got a circle.
And how come you got a circle?
Same coefficient, same power.
Okay. All right. Okay. So we'll keep doing that because that will be part of your quiz. When you'll have to know how to classify them. So keep practicing those, and so forth. So we're going to do today's circle. I know that you have a quiz next time. Your quiz will be 10.1 over 10 to 10.3. So what I want to do is do the circle first and the ellipse today's lesson, and then go back if you have any questions on your homework, and go from there. Okay. And then what you need to do is start on this homework circle so that you make sure that you understand that before you leave. You should have time to do that, okay? All right, so let's start with our standard form. We've talked about, I don't know how much you remember from geometry.
Nothing.
Not much. So this is your formula, your standard form. We had this on, I think, day 1. We talked about the first of these, okay? Okay. And so this right here, just remember this is going to go left to right. And this one will go up or down. And remember that sign in here is always the opposite of what we want to do, okay? So kind of remember what we did before. All right, so the center here, okay? Center is going to be HK.
Yep.
Every time list the center, every time list your radius, okay? So you'll know. And the radius here will be just R. So notice in the formula it's R squared and it's just R, okay? Oh, Kayla's not here to fill up the candy. She usually fills up my candy jar for everybody. I have to get on to her, Kayla. Okay, so this first few we're going to do just straight using the standard form, and then we're going to go if it's not in standard form. All right, so what is the center here? 2, 1.
Is it -2, 1, or?
No, it's still going to be like, you know how we did with parabolas, where it's always, think of this one as the opposite of what we're doing. Remember that? And the thing is that y'all used to using the outside, the K for y'all with the parabola was like on the outside, up and down. It wasn't inside of parentheses. But again, same thing as the opposite, okay? So that's why this one will be a positive. So this one we're going to go up 1, and this one we're going to go to the right 2, if that helps, okay?
How do you find the radius?
So now if I have R squared and the radius needs to be R, how do I find the radius of 9? Square it. Take square root of it and you get 3.
Oh, that's easy.
Okay? That's not too bad when you do those, okay? All right, so now let's graph it. So we're going to graph our center at 2, 1. Can y'all see that color okay? That doesn't really help in here, does it? Fine on the iPad. Okay, and then now our radius is out 3. So from that center, go out 3 each way. And if you remember from a radius, oops, that's 2. I was going to be uniform all the way around. Make sure when you think about a circle, 1, 2, 3. No. Okay, it always goes. It's nice. It's a nice, pretty thing, you know. Make sure that you make it nice and circular. It's
Wait, is this gonna be part of the quiz?
yes. Oh man, it didn't do. Oh, I'm not in my notability. Remember, notability like made a nice, pretty circle. That is a terrible circle, isn't it? Yeah, I probably could draw. So let's see if I can draw a little better. Okay, so make sure it's nice and. Okay, and then just kind of thinking about your radius is from here to here. That's that 3. Okay.
This next one is an
Okay. All right, let's go to the next one. All right. So we have, what is your center? What's our center, please? Thank you. So we know that we're going this way 3 and we're going down 1. And when we talk about that, that's usually when we're talking about if the center was at 0, 0. Okay, when I say when you're moving back and forth, we're all doing that. So what's the radius? 1. Square root of 1 is just 1. All right, so graph it. So -3, 1, 2, 3, -1. And then to go all the way around is like this. Very small circle. So I'm going to ask, what's the distance between one side of the radius from one side to the other side of the circle? What's the length of that? If I draw this diameter, what's the length of it? What's the length of it? 6. Okay, just checking, just some simple things to remember. Okay, all right, let's go to down here. If I can find it on this page, next page. Okay, so what if it's not in standard form? Then you complete the square, or not the other thing. All right. So it's not standard form, ladies. Complete the square. Now complete the square though with on the x and the y. You have 2 squares happening there. Has to be for both, so we're going to do it twice, okay? So do the same thing you always do. Put your x's together like you put in parentheses. So however the 9s are, the -9's on that side, so we don't have to worry about any constants that we need to move over. So I have x squared minus 4x, and I'll put a plus in the center there, and then a plus, and I'll just change the color for the other one. And my other one, I want to do y squared minus 6y plus something. And that, God bless you, has to equal.
Other side of complete the square, like what that says.
Oh, sorry, on the x and y. So you have to do it for both. Okay, so let's complete the square for each part. I don't know if you remember I told you that you'd have to do this. So this one, okay, so I take -4, divide by 2, square it, what do I get? I tell you, it's in this room. It's this room. He does every time he comes in. So there's a 4 here, right? So what do I need to do to the other side? Add a 4. Okay? So what is this parentheses? X minus 2 quantity squared. We have a plus. And now we have the y. So we have y. So minus 6 divided by 2, square it, and you get a positive 9. And we're going to add 9 over here. So this is y minus, what, 3 quantity squared, and then -9 plus 4 plus 9 is just 4. Okay, so let's write our center. What's your center?
Whatever you do, you add.
Okay, and then your radius is 2. So be careful in that. Okay, so now plot your center, 2, 3. 3, 2, up 1, 2, 3. And then I'm going over 2 every time.
Is this all we're doing?
And height, one more, 1, 2. Yeah, we have to do ellipses. But ellipses are not on the quiz. Oh my goodness, that's the wrong one. And then you have one, like one more lesson after that for this unit.
Is 10.3 and 10.4 homework due next month?
Yes. That's not a bad circle. I like- Any questions on that one? Okay, so again, my radius across here is 2. Okay, all right, so let's draw the next one. Let's try this next one. So again, same thing. We're going to have to do not synthetic division, sorry. I was doing synthetic division a little while ago. What do I have to do here?
Take out the 8.
Subtract the 8 from both sides. Why does it look like that? Whoa, sorry, that went crazy.
Wait, this one we don't get a perfect square for the radius.
That's okay. We still will.
Because we had 16 and 4. So 8 negatives.
So this is, oh my goodness, why is that so big?
1 squared is
You are completely right. Yeah, don't listen to me. Yeah, that was just me.
All right, sorry, my pen was doing crazy things. All right, we have an x squared here, and then we have plus 8x. Okay, so what'd y'all get for this first parentheses here?
x plus 4.
Okay,
And then
plus, and what's the y?
1 minus 1.
Y minus 1, quantity squared. And then you had to add let me do it in a different color. What did you add to the other side? You added
16 and 1.
16 plus a 1. Why is it doing, oh, it's because I accidentally changed it to. Okay, so now what'd you get for here? 9. That turned out pretty good.
So what happens if you don't get a perfect?
Well, if you don't get a perfect square, which is a good question, you still can have that. So what you'd have to do is you'd have to sit there, still take the square root, take out what you can, and then more than likely it'd be a calculator like thing. So to know exactly if you needed to know a better value of it. Center is -4, 1. What's your radius? 3. Okay. If you look at these notes online, they did have an error on there. They decided to, is it this one? No, it's not this one. Ignore me. Trying to move over to my graph. Let me get rid of this part. It's my way. All right, so we have, what's my center? -4, -1. Why is this pen writing so light all of a sudden?
Did you click pencil?
Now it's writing darker. Oh no, that was just weird.
You're on pencil. Now you're on marker.
Oh. How did you know that? Just by the thinness of it?
Well, yeah, that's what the pencil thing.
Gotcha. It's like a regular one that we use.
Hey, isn't that a positive?
Oh, was it a positive one? Thank you. I thought it was a negative. I just didn't look over on that. All right, so when you graph it, 1, 2, 3, 4, positive 1, 1, 2, 3, right? 1, 2, 3. Giselle, were you looking at one because it was different problem than what you had on the answer key than on the last homework assignment? Is that what it was? Because I think there was one where they changed it to fit the picture onto the actual graph.
It was 8.
Yeah, yeah, if you notice in your answer key, they changed it to
Yeah, I got it
negative
wrong.
3, yeah. They just did it to fit because I think most people got -7 as their,
Yeah, that's what I got.
so they changed instead of you had a +3, you changed it to -3 so that it would fit on the graph because it was going from 5 to 5. The window was 5 to 5 on your graph, and it went to 7, and so it was kind of messing it up. So I'll show you I know what you're talking about. Let's kind of do. All right, what about this one? Let's do this one. We're going to do 2x squared plus 2y squared plus, minus 8y. What do we do with the 6? We're going to move it over, and it's a -6, okay? What do we do first with the, can't do anything on this first, right? The x's, there's nothing you can do. That stays the same. Here, I'm going to take out a 2, and I wind up with y squared minus 4y plus, and so what's going to go here on a 4? And that means I must add what to the other side? 8. So be careful, you have to add 8, because why? We have this 2 and that 4. That means I need an plus 8. So we wind up with 2 times, and this is y minus 2, quantity squared equals 2. Okay, now, when you go back up to the very top, and if you go back and look at your equations, your standard form, is there anything in front of these? Is there an A? Do you have an A? So right here, excuse me, right here, do you have anything? When you're up at the very top. Every single one we don't, right? It's the coefficient of 1 on the outside. If you go back to your formula, I can't go up because of this. So what should we do? Divide to get rid of it. Divide everything by a 2. So we don't have those constants there at all. The coefficients like that. So we're going to divide everything by 2. Oops, and I'm still in marker. So divide by 2, divide by 2, divide by 2. So now we're on x squared plus y minus 2 quantity squared equals 1. Based on that, what is your center? There's nothing for a k, h, so it has to be 0. K is 2, and my radius is 1. Again, nice little small graph again, right? 0, 2, up 1. Out 1.
We should have a break until lunch.
How much longer do we have to lunch?
12 minutes.
Okay, so,
I think so, yeah.
all right.